This is Tim Johnson, and I just want to personally thank you all for taking the time to join us this morning and welcome you to our call. We will keep this short and sweet, and it will be recorded and disseminated. So just listen and look. I'd like to really kick it off and introduce Adam, our Director of Solution Success, and Adam's going to kind of do a twofold thing here. He's going to share with you our new resource center, which we put up for you that continues to be enhanced on an ongoing basis to kind of get you the answers and allow you to get a little bit better expectation on the things you need most, kind of share the things that are new. And then we are going to directly go in, and Adam's going to walk you through optimizing these new upgrades that we've just rolled out. It's something that you've been asking for, and we've been really wanting to get as much feedback as we could to really take this to a new level as it relates to the top of the funnel processing from an efficiency and an effectiveness standpoint, so that you're running as clean a pipeline as possible. So without a whole lot of further ado, I would like to hand the call over to Mr. Adam Oxman. Take it away, Adam.
Thanks, Tim. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. All right, to get things going, what I first want to share with everyone is this new resource center that Tim mentioned. A lot of you already have access to this, and if you don't, do not worry, because after this call, we'll be sending out an email with a recording of the webinar as well as a page, let me switch to that, where you guys will be able to fill out a short form, and we'll get you access to this resource center. But the reason we wanted to share this with you is because this is going to be a great location for you guys to go to see what's new. So when new functionality, enhancements come out, you're very aware of it before it even goes live. This is going to keep you in the know, as well as a place to get answers, give us your thoughts, submit questions, and depending on your level of access, even look at reports, billing, change requests, things you want to modify in the virtual brochure, and again, similar to giving us your thoughts on how things are going, maybe ask a specific question to a certain department. So this is going to be a great resource center for you. So if you don't have access, again, do not worry, as we will be sending out a link where you can register to gain access, and we'll set you up on here. Switching gears to kind of one of the main reasons we had this call is the new date-based and category-based action items or tasking that we released. So to best walk you through this, I really want to take the scenario of a brand new suspect that comes into your platform. So you can see on my screen right here, this is a suspect dashboard of Greg Smith. And he comes into your platform, and you take a look to see, okay, is there an application completed? Because our goal in the beginning is this someone worth our time, someone that fit for this brand that we want to take through this process? So how do we determine that, and how do we use these new action items to help us stay on track? So we'll look immediately to see, okay, he has no activity summary, there's no application. What do we do to get him to engage and give us this visibility? The first thing you want to do is call him up. You'll see his primary and secondary phone number on the right side of this dashboard. And we call him, and whether we get a hold of him or we get his voicemail, it's really the same message. It's kind of a 1-minute drill, letting him know that we have this great online experience, and we're going to give him a link that's going to give him access to the first section of the virtual brochure, as well as a short application we need him to fill out at the very end if he wants to proceed. So again, we're not going to try to burn a bunch of calories and dig into the content and take him through this first section. We're going to empower him to self-qualify and fill out that short application located at the end. So after we tell him that, or we leave the voicemail, what we're going to do next is click on Send Email. And this is vital because we don't want to reference, hey, there's a welcome email with a link in it. Maybe it's at the bottom of your inbox. Maybe you deleted it. Let's send him a fresh link. So when I click on Send Email, now I can choose a template. And this is, again, the most important part. Here is a unique link for this specific candidate to gain access, self-qualify, and fill out that short app so you have that visibility. So we'll choose a template that has that link for him. We'll scroll to the very bottom and click Send. And now Greg here has a voicemail from us, or maybe we spoke with him. He's got a fresh link to go self-qualify. So what do we do next? You know, we contacted him. He's got the resource now to go do this. And this is where we want to use the new action item layout to really make sure that we have a follow-up with him. Because in an ideal world, we want to do 3 calls. And every time we call, we send him an email. So 3 calls and 3 emails. So now what I'm going to do is on the right side of action item, there's a little plus sign now that you'll notice. And this is where we can create a task, and there's more fields involved. Historically, you were just typing in some text, and it was posting based on the date that you submitted that action item. Well, now, let's call this task. We need to make a call to. Let's choose a due date. A calendar picker will pop up. So I need to make a call to him on the 14th. And now you see there's a category. And this is a really vital component because this is going to help you, again, keep track of what you need to do, because you're going to be able to filter not only by due date, but by category. So I'm going to make sure I place it under the right category of call to. And then maybe some notes. Maybe I did talk with him and he said, you know what, let's touch base again in the afternoon. And I'm going to click Save. And that's going to post to this dashboard of Greg. But more importantly than just the dashboard, this is now going to appear on your home page. All of the action items you're creating on each candidate dashboard is going to post to your home page action item areas. And the big difference now is this has filters. On the right side over here, you can filter by due date. So is it overdue? Is it today? Is it tomorrow? Or let's focus on the categories. Is it a call 1, a call 2? So when you wake up in the morning, you grab your coffee, I might want to just change this to what's today plus overdue. What do I have to do today? So I look at this and I'm saying, all right, it looks like I have a couple today, but I missed Jim here from August 9th. I better tackle that. So this is going to show you, again, exactly how you prioritize your day based on due date, or let's just focus on categories like call to. And then I'll be able to see who's relevant for that specific category today that I want to tackle. Now, this is going to encompass all of your candidates. So it's not just Greg, who we made one action item for. You can see it's Brandon, it's Peter. This is all of your active suspects and leads showing up. So another vital component to make sure this does not get cluttered is when something's completed, you want to make sure you check off this little box on the left. So when I check it, you'll see it'll go strike through, right through it. And when I refresh this page, that is no longer going to show. It's still going to capture in the dashboard of Peter, so you'll have it historically, but that way this action item's homepage is going to stay relevant and clean of the things you need to complete and not cluttered with outdated items. So make sure you check off the items that are complete so this does not get cluttered. Now, we're talking about action items that you're creating. You know, maybe it's a call, maybe we're sending someone a document. But another component that you're going to see on here is system-based items that are posted. You'll notice there's a notes and action item category. And if I choose that, this is going to show you things like virtual brochure viewed for the first time. So again, you might not be entering these on here manually. The system is going to have certain items that will show on here underneath this category. And it will be related to the date too. So if I go to look at overdue or what happened today, you'll still see those system-based items on here. But it's still important, whether you created it or the system created it, make sure you check that box when it's done so this doesn't get cluttered as well. Now, some of you had historic action items in the old format. Those were not removed. You will also find those under this category. So again, if you had past action items, they're not going to be in this format, but they're all still accessible through this Notes Action Items category. And same idea, you can view them all, and you can check them off when completed. So again, the big takeaway with this new functionality is that when you're creating action items, you can set a due date and a category. And that's going to post to the dashboard. But now when you go to your home page, you can really prioritize your day based on, is this something I need to do on a specific due date? Or let's filter by category to figure out what really makes sense for me to tackle today, or proactively if I have time to go further down into the week. Now, let's go back to, let's take our candidate here. This is Greg. Remember that just going back to the basics of we want to call him and email him 3 times. I call him, I send him a fresh link in an email, and you know what? Maybe I called him 3 times and I never got a hold of him. Or maybe I actually talked with him on call 2, and he told me that he doesn't have the money. It is really important that when you know they're not qualified or engaged, we go into their profile and we change their status. So instead of suspect, he's going to get put to declined by us or never responded. Now, that is going to remove them from your active areas, but you can always go find them. You can still email them. You can still contact them. And a new feature related to this that I want to point out is lead status history. So actually, let me grab a different candidate and show you that feature. you'll see on the right side below profile, it says lead status history, which I can click on. And all the status changes throughout this process are going to be captured. So I made a bunch here just to show you, but let's start off with lead. This was a lead I was working with, and then he became not money qualified. And then he re-engaged. So I reached out, and he became a lead again because I saw that he wanted to get back in this process. Now, for many of you use eCatalyst. And eCatalyst is going to automatically send him email campaign based on this status. So know that when you make a status change, for some of you, it will automatically send him maybe 6 emails in the next 6 months. And if he clicks on links in those emails, you'll see that re-engage status pop up. So now you look at this and you say, well, it looks like this candidate re-engaged. Why did he get dropped out before? I have this historic view to see all of the status changes. So before I push him back to a lead, I'm going to have a conversation with him about the financials, and maybe he got a new business partner to help him finance this, or he came into some money. So again, this lead status history will capture all of the statuses that occur, and it will really help you with the re-engage portion, which is kind of automatically kicking because you have eCatalyst sending those campaigns based on status changes. So again, those 2 big features that you really want to hear now are action items based on category as well as due date. And you can really prioritize things as well as that lead status history. And to make this all really work for you guys, the last thing I just want to drive home is make sure you keep this clean. When you have items completed, make sure you check that box next to each item so it clears out and this isn't just complete clutter. So check off those items when they're done so this stays relevant for you guys. All right, I think that covers some of the enhancements. We want to switch gears and go to some process refinement and additional analytics. So for those of you who are strictly at the sales level, you guys can jump off at this point, as this is going to be, again, more high-level process refinement and additional analytics. So feel free to jump off if that is something that you guys aren't going to deal with a day-to-day, and we'll switch gears to that. Let me give everyone just a bit to adjust, and then we'll switch.